Welcome to The Dream Journal. From the studios of KSQD in Santa Cruz, The Dream Journal is a weekly show where we explore the power of nighttime dreams through conversations with dream experts and with listeners like you. A dream can be meaningful even if you don't know what it means. Today's music is called Suspension of Belief. How to really enjoy your dreams. Today we'll speak with Stuart Bailey, a man who has met Queen Elizabeth and sung with Elvis. His book is My Secret Life of Dreams, One Man's Journey into the Hidden World of Night. I am your host, Katherine Bell of Experiential Dreamwork, and welcome to The Dream Journal. I'm going to start by sharing a dream I had recently, which was about playing with a little girl, a little 7-year-old girl, and I kept thinking I was going to get bored. But it was fun. Like, this is something about reclaiming my fun and learning to play. And I think we're going to get to do some of that on today's show, like just getting to play and seeing what that's like. All right, Stuart, all the way from the UK. Hello, thanks for coming on the show.
Hi, Katherine. Yeah, it's great to be on your show. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I've been listening to your show the past 12 months or so.
Excellent.
That's amazing guests on your show, so I'm very honoured and thankful for being on it. Thank you.
Fabulous. Stuart Bailey is a lawyer from the Lake District, United Kingdom, and lives with his wife and 2 teenage sons. He's the author of My Secret Life of Dreams, which explores how the dreams we have at night can guide, heal, and gently shape our lives. And you can get in touch with him on Instagram at dreamteller_4001. Stuart, this is great. So we're going to get back into having fun with dreams, huh?
That's right. Yeah, although to be fair, a lot of my dreams are around anxiety and reoccurring dreams, but at the same time, I've had some fantastic dreams over the years. So, I mean, my first dream was about 3 years old, I think. My parents moved from Birmingham to a place called Malvern when I was about 3.5 years old. And I had my first dream before then, so that's why I was about 3.5 years old. But after we moved, I started having quite a few recurring dreams, which actually, to be fair, I still have them now, actually. The same ones, I still have them now. And one, for example, is just flying down the valley. I just jump off and fly, freely. Then I start to get heavy. And a bit stressed, and then I realised I've got to relax and just let it go and start to glide again. And I've never crashed in those dreams, and I've had that dream all my life, and it's just continues to have that dream. When I was have dreams about exams, fearful of exams, not revising properly, or got the test the next day and I don't know work. And that's quite a recurring dream, which again I've had and I still have today, actually. So it is just one of those things, really.
Right.
I've had and talked to a lot of people about dreams. They have the same dreams, actually. It's very common to have these dreams.
For me, there's something about changing my relationship to my dreams, and the dreams themselves do change a bit over time, but there are definitely themes that continue, and sometimes I just have to change my relationship to the dream. But I must say, I am quite jealous of your flying dreams. I hardly ever have flown in dreams, and it sounds like it would be a lot of fun.
It is great. I mean, sometimes I get chased by people, and it's always in the same place. Though it's like it's always around my parents' house, and they live in a great place called the Malvern Hills, which is just top of the Malvern Hills, and they look down the valley, and I often just jump down and just start gliding towards the valley, and I get towards the bottom, I get a heavy sensation, and I get worried I'm about to crash, and was just let go and relax. I never crashed, actually, in these dreams, which is peculiar. I always just get a sensation about to crash, but I never do, actually. But
Well, it sounds like you learned to relax. I mean, just learning to relax, I think, is like something you're really teaching yourself in these dreams.
Well, that's right. That's what I've come to realize over the years. I remember, my first dream, well, my first recurring dreams I had, they just suddenly stopped. Not this one, but other ones, and I couldn't work out why. And I remember even at the age of 4 or 5, I was trying to work out then, what these dreams were telling me, or why they suddenly stopped. Um, but yeah, in all dreams I've had, even now, the past couple of years have been some quite strong recurring dreams, all around about anxiety. So, for example, if my car's been stolen, I've lost an ID, I've lost passports, driving licenses, and it's all around about anxiety, really, perhaps around work and trying to, telling me to just to let it go and relax and trying to work out what's going on in my life. And I do find now a lot that my dreams are telling me things to do in the real world.
Hmm. Like specific choices to make, or more generally, like to relax?
Yeah, I think partly to relax or something that's going on in perhaps in the workplace, which I've not quite prepared for or done. Actually, I had a dream about 2 nights ago where a man kept trying to enter the house where I live, and he kept trying to get some documents from me. And these documents were in my drawer in my bedroom. And I woke up the next day and I was thinking, what's all that about? And I thought perhaps to do with work, perhaps there's some element of work I've not done, which I need to do today to get rid of that dream. And lo and behold, something popped up in my mind in that day, which I did about documentation, and that dream's not come back. So yeah, just teach us what to do during the day sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's something about the documents. They kind of crept into your bedroom the way it crept into your dream. It sounds like.
Yeah, definitely. Being a lawyer, I've lots of documents to go through at
I
work.
bet.
So something in the back of mind just prompted me at work to find out this particular document and work at it. I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting. There's been a surprising number of people on the show here who are former lawyers or current lawyers who are interested in their dreams. There's something about that profession, maybe that's very high stress, or maybe you're interested in debating things, or I'm not sure. But there's been a number of people on the show over the years who, like I said, are current or former lawyers. So it's interesting. We have another one today.
yeah. I think it's probably to do. To be honest with you, about anxiety. I love my job. I really do enjoy it. And in my book, I spend a chapter talking about it, especially about COVID and the effects of COVID in the workplace. And I know it's not the same as being a doctor on the front line dealing with sick people, but COVID brought its own stresses in the workplace,
Oh yeah.
and my dreams definitely become a lot stronger as a result of the COVID. It's about anxiety really, and the job I do is actually quite high stress pressurized job, and perhaps a lot of lawyers feel the same way, and it helps through dreams.
Mm.
When I was doing some research for my book, I looked at about Greek and Roman dreams and Egyptian dreams, and the large majority of dreams are the same. It's about anxiety, which has surprised me really. It's the past 3 4 millennium, people having the same dreams about anxiety.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think there's something about dreams trying to sort out our difficult issues, and anxiety is certainly there. But if that's the case, then what about these fun dreams? What about singing with Elvis? I'd love to hear that dream.
Well,
If you,
that's right. And yeah, I talk a lot about my anxiety and my dreams, but it's these amazing dreams I have, which make me go to bed, excited about what's going to happen in the night. So I've had some, really amazing dreams, and the best one is definitely Elvis by far. I'm a big Elvis fan. I often sing in a car. I like to sing at karaoke, things like that, in a local pub, and I do sing a few Elvis songs. And it's this dream. I think I think my children were about 4 or 5 years old at the time, and having children is quite a difficult time. Lots going on. Work was quite stressful, but so I had this dream where it was the London Olympics, and my wife and I were about to go and watch the athletics in the big arena. And we were just walking through the concourse, and the concourse is busy with the sports buildings. It's full of people rushing to get to their seats. And there's a big crowd in front of us with lots of photographers and cameras and lights. And this crowd of people swarmed us. We got enveloped in this crowd. We got to the middle of the crowd. It was Elvis in the middle. And he just looked at me, and I said, "Oh, Elvis, I love singing your songs." And he goes, "Do you want to sing one now?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to." And he said, "What's your favourite?" And I said, "Well, I like Suspicious Minds." And I sang a duet with Elvis. It's like, one verse. And I woke up, it's about 5 a.m. It was bright and sunny. And I just jumped out of bed, did a big high five, and punched the air. I was like, I've just sang with Elvis. Yeah.
So what do you think
It's
I
brilliant
love
because
that.
yeah, it's amazing, absolutely amazing, and it's the fact that a lot of dreams I have when I talk, it's like talking underwater, or I talk backwards, or when teeth fall out, or
Mhm.
when I think it's all incoherent. But this dream was absolutely fantastic, on the nail, no problems at all, absolutely perfect, and yeah, it's the best dream I've ever had. It was fantastic.
And yet it was a time in your life when you were under a lot of stress. You talked about having young children and work being stressful, and yet you got this really positive, uplifting dream.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It is. I'm smiling now as I think about it. I
Uh,
talk about it. It gives me a big uplift.
uh.
It's just gives lots of confidence and happiness. So yeah, it's really good.
So there are dreams that will uplift us, that will give us encouragement and just joy and pleasure. And it seems
Yeah,
like this
that's
is one of
right.
those.
It's like I'm also quite sporty. I play a lot of cricket in this country. I don't know how familiar with cricket,
Mhm.
but I do play a lot of cricket. I've done for quite a few years, and also play a bit of golf. I'm not as good as golf as I am at cricket,
Mhm.
and I have quite a few dreams about golf, and they are quite stressful dreams. Like I can't hit the ball, or I can't put the ball down properly on the tee, or I'm cramped, or I'm playing in the middle of the wood. But with cricket, I'm great. I score lots of runs. I do really well. One of the best players at cricket. I had a dream a few weeks ago where I was hitting a ball which you couldn't see and still smacking it. So I really enjoyed that dream. So with cricket, I left my dreams of cricket. They are good. But with golf, I don't get on well with them.
So what do you think? Do you think the dreams are suggesting you should quit golf? No,
I
no.
think so. Yeah.
Oh, hopefully they're helping you with your technique and the backswing and all that, right?
Yeah, it is that. I mean, it's funny how dreams work because I had this one game last year where the opposition they're really really good and we play them every year and we always lose. They always do badly. And I had a dream about the pitch being like a big cavern. Because with cricket you got to hit the ball on the ground rather than like baseball you throw it in the air. You got to hit the ground and it moves at a funny angle off the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Then my dream, which is the day before the game, the pitch was like a cavern. So I have
Oh,
no chance of hitting the ball. And so that made me chuckle for one of the first dreams I've had, which was a good dream about cricket.
okay. So what do you think, is the purpose of these happy dreams? Do you think there's what's going on there? Because if dreams are there to help us uh, have better lives, they're just there to make us happy. Is that enough?
Yeah, I think so as well. It depends on your mood. It doesn't at a time. I mean, I do have a lot of recurring dreams which are based on anxiety. So I think the brain is giving me other dreams to counteract that, to make sure it's all not one way and they're all not bad dreams. It's
Mm.
telling me things are okay, and things are good. And yeah, whilst I might be stressed or worried about things at work, but actually life is good. I'm doing very well. I've got a fantastic wife and two great kids, and
Mhm,
in a
mhm,
great part of the country.
mm,
So perhaps these dreams are telling me don't be too worked out about what's going on at work or elsewhere. Enjoy yourself. And these dreams are saying to me, you can enjoy yourself. You
mm,
can enjoy yourself with your cricket. You can enjoy yourself with your singing.
mhm,
Um, so yeah, I think that's
mhm.
partly what the brain's selling us, isn't it? It's a
Yeah.
very powerful thing, the brain. We don't know half of what we know about the brain, what
Oh,
it can do,
no.
especially with dreams as well. So it's
Mhm.
amazing. If you can have good dreams, you'll be very lucky.
Yeah, sometimes I find that even in difficult dreams, I can find there's moments where things are going well, but I'm so likely to skip over the good dreams or the good moments, and I think there's something about paying attention to the difficult things in life that is a natural response. I can't even say human response. I think maybe all animals, of course, they want to survive, and so they pay more attention to difficult things. And yet we can teach ourselves to look for those beautiful moments, look for those moments of support and fun in dreams.
Yes, that's right. Definitely is. That's right. I really enjoyed your podcast last week with the lady who said about try and think about social injustice before you go to bed and try and change things in your dreams which you might be able to change it in real life. And I really enjoyed that. And
Mhm.
I tried to do what she did was I used to be tapping the third eye by tapping your top of your nose before you
Hmm.
go to bed, and try and think about a really good dream. And I did actually try and dream about the lottery numbers coming up. It's not quite right.
How'd that go?
And then it didn't, no, it didn't happen. I don't dream
Ah.
at all about a lottery. It was a bit annoying. So yeah. I mean, joking aside, my mother dreams as well quite a lot, and she had a dream about the lottery numbers actually, and three numbers popped up, 14, 15, and 16. Then a dog started barking because the milkman turned up, and so the dog woke her up.
So she missed the last three numbers.
Then you listen to last few numbers. So next Saturday with the lottery, we're watching the numbers and we're thinking these numbers are going to come down, and they didn't at all, different numbers.
Oh.
But a week later, the numbers popped up, 14, 15, and 16.
Oh.
So
Oh,
we all
that's.
cursed the dog.
Yeah, I've heard that's one of the difficult things about telepathy is that it's, or even what is it, remote viewing, is that you can see things remotely, and yet, but you might be looking at a different time frame. Like maybe you're looking 30 years ago or 10 years in the future. So you may see something that in the distance, something like these numbers that were not that week, it was the next week. And I've heard one of the difficulties of this kind of cheating, if you like, is that the time is not very real to dreams. Apparently, it can be looking in the past or the future.
Yes, definitely right. I definitely agree with that. I've had actually a couple of dreams which have come true later on in life, and my mother's had amazing dreams which come true. Things you just not by coincidence either. And I've done things in the past where I've sat down and thought, I dreamt about that. I'm sure I've done that in a
Ah,
dream.
ah,
Months or years later,
uh-huh.
and I think we had that saying deja vu. You've already seen it before, but the French have another word for deja vu. Is it already dreamt?
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
I've heard that theory that when we get a strong sense of deja vu, it's because we already dreamed about the moment before. Even if we don't remember the dream per se, there's just something familiar about that. And I don't know. I haven't read any studies of that. It's just anecdotal. Do you have any examples of your precognitive dreams that you'd like to share?
Yes. So, yeah, the one I had was a couple of years ago. Well, on that, I suppose, it was about tennis. Actually, it's about Andy Murray. So, I don't know if they, but at Wimbledon, at tennis, Britain's not won Wimbledon for like 80 years.
Oh,
And then Andy Murray came along, and the Scotsman, he was a fabulous player. Then he played against Roger Federer in the final. And all of Great Britain was watching the final, thinking, the first chap to win tennis in Wimbledon for like 80 years. And unfortunately, he lost.
mm.
A very famous interview afterwards where he just burst into tears,
Oh,
so upset at losing.
hmm.
And that night, I had a dream about him, and I dreamt that he would win the gold at the Olympics,
Oh,
which was later in the year. And lo and behold, the Sao Paulo Olympics, and he won gold.
oh, and he did. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
and my son had a dream about football where his favorite football team was going to lose the competition by 1 point. When he had the dream, they were winning by about 10 points in the league, and then he all said, "No, they're going to win the league by miles. Don't worry about that at all." And lo and behold, they lost the league by 1 point.
About 1 point. Oh, okay. That can happen, huh?
I've had a few vivid dreams where I woken up and think, "Oh, I might put some money on that happening," and then actually it doesn't happen at all. So I was very cautious in believing my vivid dreams, but the other one does come true.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Now, I wonder if you have like a couple more, like you described some of these dreams. I'm going to back up to these fun dreams, these what you call the big dreams, which is maybe a little different than what like Carl Jung would call a big dream. And why don't you define what you say is calling a big dream? And maybe there was something about Queen Elizabeth, I
Yeah,
think.
so
Yes.
I've met quite a few people in my dreams. So the two good ones which come to mind was Queen Elizabeth. So this is before she died a couple of years ago. So this dream was about 5 years ago. And we were in a museum, and we're both looking at a piece of porcelain, as you do. And she made a comment about the porcelain, how nice it was, and I agreed with her. It is quite a short dream, and it's not much to perhaps interpret it because we didn't really speak much. But it's just the fact that I dreamt about it, and she was there, and we had been a shared, a conversation about porcelain. So
Mm.
I found it really interesting, and I think that dream was my brain telling me what you're doing is great. Just carry on what you're doing. It didn't say to me to change anything or do something different. It's just saying, yeah, I think what you're doing is great. Just keep doing it. And that was
Mm.
through the dream with meeting the Queen.
Interesting, because porcelain is something that's very fragile too. And so
It
it,
is, yeah,
uh,
that's right. It is. I mean, there's a bit more to it because
yeah.
with it, because one from Worcestershire, Worcester is very famous for its porcelain, and also it's a type of pear, a black pear, the fruit pears. It's also known as black pears, and this porcelain had black pears on the porcelain, so we commented about the black pears, which is a bit unusual thing, but it's all based around history really. But I just woke up absolutely thrilled, had a dream about the Queen and met the Queen. It was brilliant, and then I just felt really good from it. I think that dream was trying to tell me, what you're doing is great. Just carry on.
Mm.
And it's a bit similar with Winston Churchill. I met Winston Churchill in the dream, and again, it's a very vivid dream. I can still clearly see it now. Um, and unfortunately, I couldn't hear what he was saying. He was talking to me, but I couldn't hear exactly the
Mm.
words he was saying. But I felt from the dream, it gave me confidence and reassurance. But similar to the Queen dream, gave me confidence, telling me what I'm doing is great and carry on what you're doing.
Okay, so that was another dream where you got the message, kind of just carry on. And in fact, all three of them, the Elvis dream too. There's a real
Yeah, I think
theme
so. Yes,
here.
definitely.
Interesting.
Yes, yes. I mean, the part problem I have is that people say you should write down and journal your dreams so you can work out what you're thinking at the time, in your life. Um, Now, whilst the Elvis and the Queen and Churchill dreams, I remember them in the morning after. A lot of the dreams I have, I actually don't remember till 2 or 3 days later, even weeks later.
Huh?
So I find it very hard to journal until I'm trying to work out what the dreams are telling me. But I just feel it like inside me. I know what the dreams are telling me what to do, or just it's a feeling like a sixth sense type of thing. It's like, I know what they're trying to tell me.
Interesting that you remember dreams a couple days later. I think I have to no, rarely ever done that. I often find that I'll wake up and I'll have like kind of a little bit of a dream, a little fragment, a little shard. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm not going to write that down. But then maybe 2 days later, it's still with me. And then I'm like, well, okay, now I'm going to write it down. But I don't know that I've very often actually like suddenly remembered something a couple days later. So it's just a little bit of a different relationship with your dreams there.
Yeah, it's true. I do remember a lot of dreams the next day, especially the vivid ones. But it's just jog your memory. Like anything in life, you see something which might jog your memory. In my case, it just jogged the memory of a dream I had, a few weeks or months ago.
Mm. Hmm.
I remember actually, I often have a recurring dream of having ghosts in the bedroom, and I have to run downstairs into the lounge to escape them.
Hmm.
Uh, the lounge of my house is always the safe, secure place where I'm happy and confident in. And I get that dream quite a lot, but I've not had it for a while. But I had it a few days ago, and I didn't remember it until, say, yesterday that I had that dream, because something just prompted me about the dream. And I thought, oh yeah, I had that dream about 3 or 4 days ago. And so just trying to work out why I had that dream on that particular day.
Okay. So what is your advice to people who are interested in and paying more attention to their dreams? Do you have any like suggestions or anything for people to look for?
Yeah, well, a lot of people actually I know they say they don't dream, and it's quite a common thing that people say they've never dreamt or don't have dreams or can't remember them. So you can actually take steps to remember your dreams, and don't just you just wake up and the first thing you do is write it down, because within seconds you can forget your dream.
Hmm.
But I think night before is to just think about, if you want to have a dream about something, try and think about it, and say to yourself, I will dream about this. And I'll wake up in the morning and I should remember what I dreamt. And I've done it a few times, and I do occasionally have the dream the next day. I remember the one dream I had was quite good. Was I tried to dream about global warming, and whether I could try and find the solution for that. And I had a dream that night, and the dream was the world was digging up dead bodies of animals, like chicken carcasses,
Wow.
and they're grinding down the bones into dust, and had these huge fans blowing the dust into the atmosphere.
Wow.
So I thought it was a bit weird.
Wow.
And I went to Google, and apparently there are companies who are looking into producing particles, and, blow them into the sky atmosphere to try and reduce the carbon dioxide and carbon footprint.
Well, it would be a very useful thing to discover to how to prevent global warming, how to reverse it, in fact.
Fantastic, and
Mm.
it's a bit like the lady last week, the social justice. It's like, go to bed, before you go to bed, you've got, something you really want to try and help the world about, or personally, or your friends, try and have a dream about it.
Right. Yeah, I might have come up with something creative, more creative than your waking mind. Yeah, yes. So these are like movies. We were talking about, I love your phrase that the dreams are like movies starring ourselves. And so why not enjoy them or get into the drama of them? Because we also go to uh, drama movies or even horror movies, and there's ways that we choose to put ourselves in these kind of situations. And here's dreams, and that's what we're finding in our dreams. We're finding these amazing, uplifting experiences, and then we're also finding the more difficult experiences. But maybe there's something about that we get to choose.
Yeah, definitely so. And I think, like in my case with the recurring anxiety dreams, it's just to trying to enjoy it, and just talk to yourself, and you say the brain's trying to help you here. The brain's trying to sort out something's going on in your life, and really savor it and really take it on board what's trying to tell you, and try and adapt to it, but just really really try and enjoy them. You might have found out an amazing invention, or come up with a new song, or so with some amazing dreams which have come true, and people like Paul McCartney, the song Yesterday, that was in a dream, and been some amazing inventions through dreams. And I think you just go to bed, and perhaps if you're an insomniac, you should
Hmm.
go to bed and thinking, I'm going to try and dream of a fantastic dream, and really enjoy it, and savor it, and make my life better.
And of course, as we're laying there waiting to fall asleep, we can tune into our best dreams and like remember those moments of singing with Elvis or flying down the valleys, whatever equivalent dreams that we're having that are enjoyable, just to encourage ourselves to look forward to going to sleep.
Definitely so. That's right. Definitely, that's the case. I mean, actually, writing a book, I do make a slight joke about that. And I do quite like Gwyneth Paltrow, but I don't go to bed thinking I want to, make loads of Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm not this type of person. But it'd be
Hmm.
nice to meet Gwyneth Paltrow, and perhaps star in a film with her together. That'd be good. But
It is just a dream, Stuart. Though you can do all kinds of things in dreams. That's for sure.
you can. That's right. I mean, actually, some people do the lucid dreaming, don't they? They dream lucidly, and I've not tried that yet myself. And I understand that people do have lucid dreams. They do become very tired. Actually, they're very active in their dream state. And people do say you can control what goes on in your lucid dreams. I've not had one of those yet, but never
Yeah,
mind.
I've had a few over the years, and they can be spectacular, but I can't choose them regularly. It's not a regular thing for me. So, Stuart, this is Stuart Bailey, and we're talking about his new book called My Secret Life of Dreams, One Man's Journey into the Hidden World of Night. And we're talking about big dreams, fun dreams, as well as anxiety dreams, and how we can learn to relax from our dreams, the things that we learn. You can get in touch with Stuart on Instagram at dreamteller_4001. We are broadcast live from the KSQD studios in Santa Cruz and co-broadcast live in San Jose by KCXU and podcast everywhere. We're also broadcast on Saturdays up at KOWS in Sonoma. We'll be right back. You are listening to The Dream Journal. I am Katherine Bell of Experiential Dream Work. I'd like to send out a special welcome to our Far-flung listeners from all around Santa Cruz, Watsonville, San Jose, Los Altos, Mountain View, Burlingame, San Leandro, Citrus Heights, San Bernardino, Surrey, British Columbia, Atlanta Gorge, Georgia, Quebec in Canada, Derby in Great Britain, and Birmingham in Great Britain, and more Great Britain. I think you're bringing them in, Stuart. City of London, Great Britain, and then we have another listener from Hungary. So glad to have you dialed in to the Dream Journal. I mean, it just goes to show that dreams really are interesting to people all over the world. And if you'd like to nudge the algorithm to help spread interest in dreaming, please follow the Dream Journal on your favorite podcast app. And if you're inspired, you can leave us a rating or a review. But most importantly, tell your friends. I'm interested in getting people talking about dreams, and you can mention the podcast. You can also follow us at Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook to find out about upcoming shows and pod drops. You can follow hashtag The Dream Journal and at Experiential Dreamwork. Next week, we speak to author Wendy Correa about how adverse childhood experiences affect lifelong mental health. Her memoir is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and an urgent reminder that healing requires honesty, community, and hope. Today's guest is Stuart Bailey, a lawyer from the UK who is going to help us learn to enjoy our dreams again, because so often dreams can be anxiety-provoking, and yet many of our dreams can just plain be fun. Stuart, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks, Katherine. Yeah, thanks to be on the show. It's going really well.
Yeah.
I think I didn't mention I had a dream about Taylor Swift, which was quite a good one. It's been a mixture of an anxiety dream, but with the good part of Taylor Swift being involved. It's quite funny actually. She stole my car.
She stole your car. That's funny.
So before I have dreams about my car being stolen quite a lot.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and have to open the curtains, have a look to see the car on the drive, and my wife had to go at me for waking her up because I'm sat by the window looking after my car. But yeah, no, this instance she stole my car and she's driving off in my car, and I can see it clearly in my mind now. Her driving off and waving to me, and in the dream it was basically a dilemma of to tell the police to arrest her or let her go off with my car, but then she would go on her social media on her phone and highlight my name on her podcast or Instagram, and so let her go off with my car, and so she'd make any mention on her Instagram in the dream, and my phone lit up with likes and comments about my dreams and stuff. So it's yeah, it's quite a funny dream. I do enjoy that one. Maybe chuckle.
Well, she's a great social media influencer. So if you get a mention from Taylor Swift, good or bad, it's going to be good for your numbers.
Yeah, definitely. That's right. Yeah.
And what about daydreams? You mentioned when we chatted before that you sometimes use daydreams to help find answers. You want to say a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's right. So during my research for writing my book, I spent a lot of time last year listening to lots of podcasts, the one thing which a lot of people do is that, especially if you've got recurring dreams and nightmares which are causing you problems, is to actually to daydream what you're dreaming about, but actually find a solution. And for example, I think a lot of people dream about being stuck in an airplane or a car and it's about to crash or you can't control it. But then if you actually, during the day, think about your dream, but give it a positive outcome where you're actually in control, you have to find that recurring dream does just go away. So in my instance, for example, about these dreams about the car being stolen, I had that quite a few weeks on a chart, the same dream. Actually got a good friend of mine who's a police officer, and he's a big police officer. He wouldn't mess with me. He's about 6'6" tall and 6'6" wide. So,
wow.
He's on the front line of every riot in London, that thing. So he's a top bloke. He's a great friend of mine. And so I just dreamt this dream again during the day in a daydream, and at the end of the dream, my friend Jamie was there to look after me. And it stopped that dream about the cars being stolen.
Stuart, I think you've discovered what is it called? IRT, rehearsal therapy. I forgot, blanking on the first letter it means, but it's where you re-script a nightmare, and it actually can make the bad dreams go away. But by doing it in a daydream, so you're kind of immersing yourself in the dream, because that's what you're talking about, right? Being really going into the dream, but imagining a different outcome.
Yes, it's definitely right. I think there's been lots of examples and research done into this, and it helps people, perhaps the army veterans who are having post-traumatic stress syndrome, and obviously what that is having lots of nightmares and things like that. And apparently they are trialing that answer by daydreaming in the response, and apparently it's and quite a positive effect.
Okay, yeah, that's brilliant. And so even our difficult dreams, we can look at them and we don't have to put up with them because I think a lot of people just think nightmares are normal and that's what we have to deal with. That's just life. And yet we don't have to. And so I love how you just came across a solution that there's actually a lot of, it's called image rehearsal therapy. There it is, image rehearsal therapy. And it's actually a documented technique for curing nightmares. And it helps improve your life, your waking life as well. So don't put up with nightmares for sure.
And I think that's right, and I think also, like I said at the first half of the show, we can have really fun, enjoyable dreams.
Hmm.
And if you are somebody who has lots of nightmares or lots of troubling dreams, or perhaps lots of dreams which are incoherent, is go to bed and think, well, I'm going to have a really good dream, and then try and dream about something which you like doing. So, for instance, it's cricket, so if I can't go to sleep at night, I will actually daydream lying in bed about playing cricket,
Mm.
and after a while,
Mm.
I drop off to sleep.
Ah,
And, yeah,
focusing on the positive, positive modes.
yes,
I have somebody I work with who loves to dream about swimming before they go to sleep. Just swimming through the water. It's something they love to do.
yeah, that sounds great. And obviously, water has a
Hmm.
big impact on dreams, isn't it?
Big
It's
theme,
one of
big.
the four elements, isn't it? So,
Hmm.
well, I'm not sure off the top of my head what the water aspect is, but I know that it's very good approach to dream about water in your dreams.
Yeah, well, it's something that humans are very well. We require it to drink, of course, but there's also something that humans have always lived by water. That very often, that's where food sources are, and that's where transportation is, and so we have a lot of familiarity with it. There's a lot of metaphors. There's a lot of different ways to look at water dreams, and people will come up with whole strings. Google will tell you many, many things that water dreams mean, but basically they're pleasant. They're typically pleasant, and sometimes maybe there's a tidal wave or something, but then that's meaningful too because that means just too much water, too much emotion.
Yeah, I had a dream
Yeah.
actually last year when I was writing my book. I was a bit worried about the book and my my ability of writing, etc. And was some stumbling block. Well, my friend of mine, Chris, he read it through the book for me, made some changes to it and grammar changes. And I felt a lot happier after he'd actually been through it and advised me on the book. And that night I had a dream that I was walking up a waterfall which was dry, and I got to the top of the waterfall, and there's a load of weeds and plants and fallen down trees which are stopping the water coming down the waterfall. So I cleared away those branches and weeds, etc. Then the water started flowing through the waterfall.
Hmm. So you
So it's
unblocked it.
helped me.
Unblocked.
That's, yeah, my friends helped me by unblocking,
Uh,
the water, unblocking my thoughts about my book and helping me with the book, and
yes.
then the water started to flow, and then carried on.
Because I
Got
do,
published.
I do think that we are actually doing work in our dreams. That the dream itself is part of the healing that we get from the dream. It isn't just about the, exploring the dream later, but the actual in the dream moment that you are really clearing away some neural snarls, like maybe getting the flow of your neural connections going more smoothly, and that because there's so many dreams we have that we don't remember. So there can't be an evolutionary purpose in remembering dreams because it's all about having the dream. So even the dreams we don't remember, they're helping us. That's how I like to think of it.
Yeah, that's a great idea, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
It goes back to my initial point, is the fact that really do enjoy your dreams if you can.
Right.
They can do an awful lot good for us. Yes, might have some nightmares or reoccurring ones, but you can have some fantastic ones, So it goes back to the point that brain is trying to help us with our lives, and by having good dreams, great dreams, it does that.
Right. Just now, there's you mentioned when we spoke before that there you had dreams of actually dying in dreams.
Yes, that's
So
right.
let's go back to the other end of the spectrum. But and yet sometimes we have this trope just before you even share the dreams that in our dream groups where we say, "Oh, death in the dream world is usually a sign of transformation," and of course not always, but there's something there that we can often look at dreams that way, even scary, sad dreams. I wonder if you wanted to share any of those dreams.
Yeah, sure. So I had this one dream where I collapsed in this building. It's like an atrium to like a big office building. My first memory about the dream was the floor was black and white
Hmm.
tile floor,
Mm.
very large square shapes, with stone pillars. And I just collapsed, and I just went really dizzy. I had to lie against a stone pillar, and I started to like drift away. And I was telling people, "I'm dying, I'm dying, I'm dying." And
Wow.
there's a friend of mine who I know quite well, who's actually a nurse, and she was there trying to comfort me while they called the ambulance in a dream. And I began to drift away and drift off. And
Mm.
um, I saw a film a few years ago, The Equalizer, where a chap gets shot and he dies. And you see the camera is like him looking through life through his eyes, and he slowly drifts away. And I think that's where I got that idea from, of me drifting away in my dream, and I died.
Mm.
And then I woke up after that dream, didn't see anything after that. With a shame, I must have found out the afterlife. But
Right.
no, I woke up, and I was really petrified with it. I was absolutely traumatized. I thought I was going to die that day. And I'm asthmatic, so I took an extra puff of my inhaler.
Right.
Had a healthy breakfast,
Oh.
and you know, really worried about it. Um, and then I think a day later, I had a networking meeting at work, and I met some of my contacts with friends through work. And when I told them about my dreams, I really was quite worried about it. I thought I was going to keel over the next day or so.
Mhm.
But one of the ladies in the group, she's a tarot card reader.
Hmm.
And she's not, I said, no, no, it's great. It's great. Actually, death means transformation.
Uh-huh.
And I was
Uh,
like, oh, really? And she says, yeah, yeah, it means something's going to happen in your life, or something's going to change in your life. So, but actually, nothing really changed in my life as I can remember. But the lady in my dream, who's the nurse, she got divorced shortly afterwards,
oh,
because she had
interesting.
a problem with her husband, and then she got divorced. So I was wondering whether perhaps that transformation wasn't me, it was actually my friend,
Uh,
who was there looking after me.
Sometimes we do have dreams for other people, and it's always a question for me whether I should contact the person who shows up in my dream or not. And then, number one, just to say hi. Number two, to say, "Oh, I had a dream about you." They're kind of vulnerable to make that leap. You know?
It is very brave, isn't it? Very
Yeah.
brave. I mean, we have in my family. My mother has lots of dreams, which some have come true. A lot haven't. And she would bring me up and say, "I had a vivid dream about you last night, or about somebody else," And so, if you get a phone call from my mother with a vivid dream, you do tend to worry. But actually, most of the times it doesn't come true. So, it's like the Andy Murray dream I had. That came true. But I've had lots of dreams which haven't come true, which have been really vivid. I had a dream about the Duke of Edinburgh dying in New York quite a few years ago, and I was convinced he was going to die, and he didn't. He actually died about 3 or 4 years later. So
Hmm.
you do have to be careful, don't you? I think if you have a dream about somebody else, whether to tell or not, it's a tough question to answer.
Right, right. Whether those precognitive, well, most of the dreams I hope are not precognitive. Though singing with Elvis, I guess we'd have to travel in time or meet the spirit or something for that one to come true. But I do have a lot of dreams about singing myself. I'm also a singer, and I love to sing, and so I would love to have something like that happen where I got invited on stage with I don't know Emmylou Harris or John Prine. Well, he's passed away as well. But there's ways that most of the dreams we have, we kind of wish they're not precognitive.
Yeah, so that's right. It's absolutely needed to tap your third eye, like the lady said last week. And go to bed and think about dreaming or singing. Those songs, those people. But actually, talk about singers. I don't know if you know Amy Winehouse, who's a British singer. She died a few years ago. But they did a documentary about 4 or 5 weeks ago, which I watched quite late one night. And I had a dream about her that night. And she was singing a song, but I couldn't hear what she was singing. So I
Uh,
woke up next morning thinking, oh, if I could only hear what she was singing, I might be able to, make that song and, become famous and making that song. But no, I got halfway there, but not quite all the way.
well, I've definitely gotten song ideas from dreams fairly frequently, so that's the useful thing for me is actually writing songs based on things that happen in dreams or just ideas and feelings I get from dreams.
Well, sounds great, isn't it? That's really good, that, isn't it? Yeah,
Mm,
that'd be great to have that, those dreams. Of course, you got, Paul McCartney with Yesterday.
yeah,
Is it
yeah, he
most
dreamed
sung
that.
song or something, isn't it? That's
Uh,
also a dream.
and the Rolling Stones guys, Mick
Yeah,
Jagger, who dreamed "I Can't Get No Satisfaction," I think was a song
yeah,
that he dreamed up.
yeah. Well, I'm born in Birmingham, and Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know if you know Ozzy Osbourne and the Osbournes. Unfortunately, he died last year, but his guitarist had a dream about the devil being at the bottom of his bed. And so he told Ozzy what happened in a dream, and then he wrote the song the next day about the devil at the bottom of his bed. And the riff chord, the guitar, apparently is based on what the guitarist could hear in the dream.
Mm, a lot of creativity there. A lot
Yeah,
of creativity. So, what about like intuition? Do you find that paying attention to your dreams helps you kind of develop your sixth sense? Do you think that helps you um, kind of trust your own gut feelings about things?
um, I'm not sure really. It's quite a tricky one to answer because I think a lot of the recurring dreams I have are quite actually incoherent and not clear. So I do wake up perhaps next day a bit confused about what the dream actually what happened. It's not particularly clear what's going on, um, but I wouldn't say as much as they guide me or they tell me what to do. But the dream with Elvis and the dream of the Queen and Winston Churchill just gave me so much positivity and
Mm,
so much happiness.
mm,
And I think that's what I could gain from those dreams. It really motivated me to, just be, enjoying life and being thankful that we're here and that, I experienced these dreams. And, I was really lucky to have those dreams. And I think, people say, don't they, if you're having a tough time, it's just try and be thankful.
mm.
And perhaps at the end of the day, write down 3 things which you're thankful for. But in my case, these dreams have been absolutely wonderful. Who else can have dreamt at my age to dream, sing with Elvis?
Right.
Nobody. So, yeah. So I think I always have been, quite a positive person. When you have that half glass, is it half full or half empty?
Right.
In my case, it's overflowing. And
Ah,
I do think, that's always put me in good stead in life. And I think back in some of my dreams, the ones which I love, they really are enjoyable and good fun.
beautiful. I love that. So as we're wrapping up, this is Stuart Bailey, and wondering if you have any final encouragements that you'd like to share with our guests.
Yeah, I just think obviously enjoy life. Life's short, isn't it? Life's pretty tough, but the one thing you could do is actually have some amazing dreams. So as we say in cricket, we say, go well. I think in dreams, let's dream well.
Ah, fabulous. Stuart Bailey, so good to have you on the show.
That's great, Katherine. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it today. It's really good fun. Actually, Katherine, I've got to say, it's
Of
actually
course.
not my birthday. It's my birthday today.
Oh, it's your
So
birthday. Happy birthday,
it's been
Stuart.
a day today. It's really, really enjoyable by having me on the show.
Well, I know it's in the evening on Saturday evening for you, so thank you for dedicating your birthday Saturday evening to be on the podcast.
That's fine. No worries. That's great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye now.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers. So, thank you so much for listening. The Dream Journal is produced at the studios of KSQD in Santa Cruz. We are live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific at ksqd.org. The podcast is released on the Monday after the show. It spreads interest in dreaming when you subscribe, rate, and review. I'm Katherine Bell. You can find out about my dream coaching practice at experientialdreamwork.com. You can email me at katherine@ksqd.org. Follow Experiential Dreamwork and hashtag the Dream Journal on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram to keep up with the shows. I'd like to thank Rick Kleffel, engineer and music creator, audio editing by Suki Westling, and the intro and outro pieces are both by Mood Science. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, take a minute to write down your dream and bring it to the next Dream Journal.